right, first of all, we got the La Seraphim. Is it La Seraphim? I feel like I heard it end of the music video, and that's what it sounded like. La Seraphim. Does that sound right? There we go. I heard it at the end of one of the videos, and it says La Seraphim. There we go. Overwatch 2 is teaming up with K-pop sensation La Seraphim in an in-game music collaboration. Play Concert Clash, a 3v3 capture the flag mode set in a K-pop-themed Busan. Play as Diva, Kiriko, Tracer, Brigitte, and Sombra, decked out in the La Seraphim-inspired skins. And compete over tickets and capture objectives to turn them in and score points. This limited time event begins now. It's live now. All right? General updates, endorsements. Endorsement level decay has been reworked to be more forgiving in some circumstances. Keep in mind, this could work for... I got to read the rest of this, but in like top 500, an issue we run into is that we see the same people over and over again, so we can't endorse each other. So we always get stuck at like that level 3 endorsement or level 2. The endorsement level always decays slightly. Oh, tomorrow. I meant tomorrow. You're right. Tomorrow. Wednesday, November 1st. Chat, listen. This is the best part about having an editor. Is that they're going to edit that out now. So Danny has to do... Okay, I have an idea. This limited time event begins on Wednesday, November 1st at 11 a.m. PDT. So tomorrow is when that event begins. In case you're wondering, because today's Halloween, which is October 31st. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I'm all over the place with... Like I said, I travel tomorrow. All of that, okay? So tomorrow. But yes, the endorsement level always decays slightly whenever you finish a match. But that decay is now reduced by the percentage of players who could not have endorsed you. Okay, I like what I'm hearing here. If none of the players in the match could have endorsed you, your endorsement level would not decay? Finally! See, now I might get to level 5 endorsement for the first time ever. For the first time ever. Because I always play against the same people. Like, chat will go, wait, you can't endorse anybody because I ran out of people to endorse. The following reasons prevent other players from endorsing you. The player is your friend. The player endorsed you within the past 24 hours. So this runs into the issue of what we're on. Endorsement level decay also no longer occurs when a server shuts down. The most common reason for this is a competitive match shutting down when players leave the match early. So it was taking away your decay if you just left the match? Oh no. Or not left the match, if somebody left? Oh, that's tough. Challenges. Added legendary, mythic, and ultimate player title challenges to each hero's progression challenges. That's cool. Victory pose now shows your progression level instead of hero level. That's cool. I like that they have that so you can see what level you are overall. The hero you end the match on isn't necessarily representative of you as a player. This change is intended to better show off your overall progression. Social features. Looks like there's changing some tech stuff here. I'll basically, just to summarize this on the description, we will be changing the defaults for both text and voice chat to encourage effective communication through the ping system while reducing the chance of encountering disruptive chat in game. I want to point out, by the way, ping system, it's great. And basically, it's just setting the options to off now, giving you better options there. And now, here we go, chat. We are on to the developer or to the hero updates. We have hero updates. Now, first of all, I see Diva already right there, so I'm excited. I hope it's not a nerf. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix one more thing here. I hope it's not a nerf. I really hope it's not a nerf. Here we go. Developer comments. This balance patch is largely focused on widening the window widening the window of time players have during combat between some impactful cooldowns, such as Bastion's reconfigure, Cassidy's grenade, and many of the support utilities. Bunny Lord, thanks for the 2 months for the tier 1. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Less than 3. Diva.
Fusion Cannon's movement speed penalty reduced from 40 to 30%. So this is really good. So what does this mean? You know, so for anybody who doesn't know, when you play Diva and you're holding left click, your movement speed is slowed down. So what I mean by that is when you're holding, like you slow down, okay? So players can get away from you a lot easier when you engage them. So this 10% difference is a lot. This is going to allow for you to freely get more limbs and be able to stay with targets in front of you. This is basically, you won't be slowed as much when you're holding left click. Projectile speed increased from 40 to 50 on the micro missiles. This actually means now that your missiles are just faster, which means it's easier to aim at mid-range. Makes it a little bit more hit scanny. Not hit scan, but it makes it a little bit better. Developer comments, the added projectile speed to micro missiles helps improve their consistency at medium range, while the decreased movement speed penalty on fusion cannons enable D.Va to stick closer to mobile targets, making her more of a threat when diving into an enemy team. Straight up, this is just a buff. This is a buff to D.Va across the board. This is just a buff to D.Va across the board. Doomfist! Minimum wall stun duration decreased from 0.25 to 0.15. Maximum wall stun duration decreased from 0.75 to 0.6. This is interesting. This is a nerf to Doom. This is a pretty... I don't want to say it's a major nerf, but I feel like this is just reducing some of the CC, which means Doom's follow-up is going to be a bit more difficult. Developer comments. This change will give the stun player more opportunities to react to Doomfist following a wall stun. Did Doom need a nerf? I have said this about Doomfist. I think that Doom is bug fixes away from being extremely consistent and good. So this change... and people ask about the World Cup. I am streaming it. I just got on right now. I'll be watching World Cup matches here in like probably 5-10 minutes, okay? Rest of the way through, we'll be watching World Cup matches. All right? So this is like... This could just be a preemptive change to bug fixes. Right? Or they saw me playing Doomfist and realized that if I'm getting value on Doomfist now, it was time for a nerf. Because here is the thing, though. Honestly, like, I do think Doom does need some help, but I think that comes from the bug fixes. I think, from my understanding from really good Doom players, the inconsistency of Doomfist when it comes to the bugs makes it so things happen so inconsistently when you're playing Doom that you lose that value that you would normally get. So, like, you could buff numbers, but it wouldn't really help with the consistency. It would just buff numbers, right? So I think it's like, when that gets fixed, I think Doom is going to be really strong. And no, I know I didn't single-handedly get Doom nerfed. I know. Listen, that was the meme behind it. Have you seen my Doomfist? Of course I didn't get the... All right. Winston. Tesla cannon. Secondary fire increased from 30 to 40 meters. We got Sniper Winston. Chat. Developer comments. Increasing the range of the alternate fire will give Winston some more flexibility in position while dealing damage from range. So, one of the cool parts about this now is that you can look at the Widow that's about to headshot you for 85% of your HP, but hit them for 12 damage. So they'll be upset. They'll be inconvenienced enough to maybe they won't shoot at you. Alright? You might be able to inconvenience the Widow even more. Real talk, it is a good buff. I think, like, it's good to see that. It's a good buff. I like it. Alright, Bastion! Oh, we got a Bastion nerf. They didn't even have to have a developer comment for this because... Alright, cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds. That means you're going to have turret form happening less frequently. That's a good change. Second of all, weapon spread increased 10%. That means that the weapon spread is increased by 10%. I read that for us. And that's a good change. I mean, Bastion is nerfed. This is a nerf to Bastion. I still think Bastion will still be pretty good. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Bastion will still be pretty good, but this is a step in the right direction. This is a nerf. There's no other way to put it. This is a nerf. And sometimes at 10 to 12 seconds in Overwatch, it may not seem like a lot on paper right now, but like it really can heck up some timings. This gives more opportunity to get that. Look at this as a way for more opportunity in a window to kill the Bastion, right? When that Bastion is out of turret form. And that's really what this does. Cassidy. Magnetic grenade cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds. I'm going to be real with y'all, chat. I don't know the... We'll take it. We'll take it. Hey, let's see. Hey, listen. I'm getting soft CC'd last. That's a win, right? Right? May. Endothermic blaster. Slow effect decreased from 40 to 30%. With some of the recent changes, May is now slightly overperforming, which we talked about this right from the get-go. I was not surprised to see this. May was going to be good. Her improved primary fire damage output is good for her role, so rather than adjust that further, We're instead targeting the more commonly frustrating crowd control aspect of its slow-in effect. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably a good change. I'll be honest. It's probably a good change here. I still have to see. I look at that and I go, I'm still going to have 100 DPS happening to me, and I'll still be slowed. But just like I just said, the buff to D.Va, it could actually, it's very similar in those percentages. So it's like, it's probably a good change. Sombra, ultimate cost decreased by 10% before anybody is like, why? Sombra was struggling to get EMP up consistently. They nerfed the alt charge initially to compensate for the new changes. EMP is just not as strong as it was before with that, so they're just making us to get EMP a little bit quicker. I'm okay with this change. I still feel like EMP feels a little bit weak at times, which is, I know. Chat's like, what do you mean feels a little bit weak? It isn't as good as it used to be before because now the Sombra gets followed up on way easier. So, like, it's a pretty good change. I like this change. It's still a good ultimate. It's just, it plays differently now. So, like, it's not like Sombra goes in, EMPs, gets out and survives. Now Sombra goes in, and then it kind of becomes a 5v4 almost because a lot of the time you're following up on the Sombra. So when I say it's weak, it's more like it's just different than how it was. Symmetra! Oh, thank you! Okay, I'm going to explain this in a second. Symmetra's really good, but Symmetra tanks quite a bit. Base shield health reduced from 125 to 100, total 200 HP. 225 HP, Sim is like a tank. I still think Sim is a really good hero. I think Sim's a fun hero. I think Sim's in a good spot. So what they're doing is just making it so Sim, and they remember they buffed the right click. Developer comments, with Symmetra recently gaining more lethality, whatever. That word, I just come up with 4 different pronunciations. In her long-range secondary fire, she's no longer as reliant on playing at close range. So we're reverting her total health back to 200, which, that's fine. That is fine. That is a fine change. If you play Sim, you'll still be fine. I think you'll be fine. This is not going to be, you're still going to dominate. Widowmaker. Okay, is this a Widow buff? Oh, this is a buff for me, I can tell. Widow's Kiss. Unscoped shots to reach maximum spread increase from 3 to 7. Yeah, I am going to be so good at Widow now. I'm going to be so good at Widow now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Widow 76, exactly. And then the ultimate cost reduced by 10%. That makes sense. Probably just wasn't getting as much value. Developer comments. Recon Visor has taken a long time to charge on average relative to other ultimate abilities. So we're reducing the cost. Widowmaker is also at a more severe disadvantage. Sorry, one second. Against Sombra with recent rework, and these changes will add more counterplay. So yeah, I just making it so a little bit more for. So yeah. No more kick for inactivity? Man, what can I say? What can I say? All right. Ana! Oh, we got support changes. Oh, we got support nerfs. Ana! Biotic grenade cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds. This is to help with being able to kill supports. Okay? Reason why they're doing this? Reason why they're doing this is because it gives you more of a window to kill supports. It's the same thing as the Bastion change, 10 to 12 seconds. All right? That's what they're doing. They're making it harder to be able to follow up and kill the supports. Baptiste! Health decreased. Oh, immortality field. Health decreased from 150 to 125. I like this change. This is a good change. This right here is a good change. This is a good change. This is very good. This allows you to follow up and kill Lamp much easier. Cooldown increased from 23 to 25 seconds. So they reverted it back to 25 seconds again. Remember when the patch came out and I was like, I don't know why Lamp's back to why Lamp is now 23 seconds? Because it just, the Lamp needs to be at 25 plus seconds. And now it is. So, Ana and Bat nerfed. Ayari! Solar rifle primary fire projectile size reduced from 0.1 to 0.05? Oh, that is a nerf to the solar rifle. So, in case you're wondering, the hit scan shot on solar rifle was pretty massive. It was to 0.05. 0.05. It was pretty massive, right? So you had it was a bit rewarding. So they have now changed that size of the projectile to 0.05 from 0.1. So that is a significant change in Overwatch. And then Heal and Pylon base health reduced from 75 to 50, 100 HP. That is such a good change because best way to explain it is this. The pylon was... I talked about it the other day. I was like, as Sigma, I think I had to shoot it twice. And I was like, I have to run around... You have to run around a wall. Like, you go in there and you spend like an hour trying to get it, right? That's a good change. That is a good change. Cooldown when destroyed increased from 12 to 15 seconds. Also a good change. This is gonna... What this change does is this makes it so you have to think about your healing pylon a little bit more, right? Like where your spots are. Not just throwing it on the floor. Solar rifle change is huge. This is you're gonna see an impact of this. You're gonna see less damage from Ayari's in general. Developer comments. Ayari's overall damage output throughout a match is too high. Yes, 100%. So we're reducing how consistent her solar rifle damage is to apply. Her weapon has some other disadvantages, such as needing to charge up and a reduced critical damage multiplier, but we'll be evaluating how much of an effect this change has in combination with the reduced heal and pylon uptime. My guess is that if Ayari ends up being not good, they'll make some of these changes a little bit less significant, as in maybe they'll change the cooldown pylon again, maybe they'll look at like the size of like the projectile. But overall, this is to make it so Ayari is not DPSing as much. Or you have to really be accurate with your shot. Kiriko! Cooldown increased from 14 to 15 seconds for Protection Suzu. Good change. I mean, you once again, it's a nerf. So it's not like it's not like the largest of changes here, but it's a nerf, and that's what people are, that's what's happening. So, hey, I will say, it's 1 second, so. LifeWeaver. Heal and Blossom. Ammo reduced from 20 to 16. And max heal reduced from 75 to 70. LifeWeaver is by far the highest heal and output support right now. So seeing these changes makes sense. When you have more ammo, there's more reload time. That reload time takes away from your healing output. Max heal reduced from 75 to 70. This goes back to the same situation, right? It's reducing the healing output on the hero. Life Grip. Cooldown increased from 16 to 19 seconds. Honestly, this is a good change. And I'll tell you why. Because I get so many of my limbs taken away from this life grip. So therefore, I am biased. So it's 19 seconds now. It's 19 seconds now. All right. Developer comment. LifeWeaver's total healing over a match is significantly higher than any other hero, which 100%. Combination with how good Tree is now, combination with how much healing output you're having, I am not surprised by this one at all. All right? I'm not surprised by this one. Also, I like how I went to go put the chat on, then I managed to actually go back and not put the chat on. How impressive is that, chat? How impressive is that? But yeah, anyway, so the hero, so to help bring it more in line, we're making some adjustments to his primary heal and blossom, which was what we see. And the life grip. I like his changes. These are good changes. All right. Zenyatta. Okay. What are these Zenyatta changes? This is the question. Are we ready? Are we ready? Base health increased from 50 to 75, total 225 HP. All right, that's the start. All right, that's the start. Zen's going to be a bit tankier. But, Harmony Orb. Time to wear off when not in line of sight increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, that's a buff to Harmony Orb, right? Okay, yes. So now when you hide behind walls, it's 5 seconds. Okay. But chat, there's a reason why there's some buffs happening. Orb of Discord can no longer be reapplied to the same target for 7 seconds after the effect has been removed. The range is an increase from 30 to 40 meters. So what this means is that if you get the, honestly, chat, So somebody memed about, hey, why aren't you, or somebody was saying like, hey, come on, you can just cleanse off Discord Orb. It actually becomes a bit more viable now, to be honest with you. Like, you can actually use Suzu on it now. So what this means is that for 7 seconds, once that Discord Orb falls off a target, so if I'm a tank and I go out of LOS of that, right? If I go out of LOS that Orb of Discord, for 7 seconds, I cannot be discorded. You can discord other targets, but that one target alone cannot be discorded for 7 seconds. Okay? So this is gonna make the uptime of Orb of Discord way less right now. And think about it. There's some things here that like I don't even think are being thought about with this too, right? Let's say that you discord somebody, then go, oh crap, I need to discord somebody else. Those are now 2 targets that like will have that 7-second window. You know what I'm saying? So like if you want to be sure about where you're putting your Discord Orb. Because if you take it off of somebody, right, after the effect has been removed, then you can't go put it back on that person again for 7 seconds. So like you have to think about your Discord Orbs now a little bit more, right? So what they've done here is they've made Zen tankier to make Zen more viable. They've made it so your healing orb, your harmony orb is more effective. Right now you can go on a flanker, 3 to 5 seconds, hide behind a wall. Like you have more time to do that. That's what they're doing here. They're pushing away a little bit from Orb of Discord, making it so you have a longer range, but you need to think about where your orb is going. So there's a little bit more counterplay to it now, and that's what they're trying to create. Developer comments. The goal of these changes is to add more counterplay. Oh, well, I probably should have read that sentence before I explained it. To add more counterplay against Discord Orb and encourage Zenyatta players to think more about who to place it on. Now, if the effect ends for any reason, the target is temporarily unable to be targeted again. And they say this specifically. For any reason. Which means if you move this off a target, it will put that on for 7 seconds. Like, it will get rid of that, the ability to do that. So it's not just saying if you cleanse it or if you line of sight. It's saying for any reason, which includes Zenyatta Switch and Discord targets. The target is temporarily unable to be targeted again by Discord Orb. A new soft targeted reticle appears when aiming toward an enemy player that cannot be affected by Discord Orb to display the remaining duration before it can be reapplied. This is a significant change both to how the ability feels to use and how clear it is to understand, so we'll be keeping a close eye on player feedback. This was a good change. This was a good change. You said I'm yapping? I am reading patch notes. There's no other. I don't even. There is no other. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start with that one. So we're gonna go back to this.
Nice hair at Jam.
Is it all this extra talking? So, chat, you can probably wonder what chat this is right now. And we know which one it is. But when we read patch notes, a lot of it's going over the patch notes, what the major changes are. Chat, can we get some blankies in the chat for JH with the 20 gifted? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 20 gifted. Shows some love in the chat for JH. I talk a lot. Listen, one thing for sure, for anybody into the channel, I talk a lot. I just do. Good change, though. Hero custom control updates. Look, there's a lot of different changes here. I won't go through these for too long just because, obviously, they're adding more and more options to that. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted, JH. I appreciate that. But yeah, basically just a bunch of more options they've added. You know, you could just change the controls. Yeah, so just good stuff. Just good stuff here. They added stuff with Rumble Pack stuff, which I don't know how that goes. Any bug fixes here that I see that are major? The leave as group bug is fixed. The leave of group bug is fixed. Yeah, the Echo one's good. Definitely take a look at those. I'm looking here. Thanks to the Affin, yeah. Just a bunch of other stuff here, yeah. Maps, fix some areas, heroes. I'm gonna see if there's anything major here. Looks good. There you go. That's the patch. That's the major part of the patch. I gotta go watch the World Cup stuff now. I got to go watch the World Cup stuff, so that's why I wasn't able to go through the full stuff. But you know what, chat? I'm going to be honest with you. This is a solid midseason patch. I think this has addressed some of the issues. I don't think it will quite... I don't think it will quite fix everything with, like, the damage output that's happening, but I think this is a step in the right direction. I think this is a step in the right direction. Is a good way for me to look at that. You said no, Ryan got no changes. Right now, Ryan's not going to get changes. I'm going to tell you why, okay? This is why Ryan doesn't get changes. Ryan has one of the highest win rates in Overwatch in a lot of ranks. Straight up. They've talked about this in blog posts. Reinhardt's win rate in some ranks is just so high that any changes they make to Ryan have to be very careful because then the win rate gets even higher. That's why. Ryan just wins in a lot of games. Thoughts on another diva buff? I'm going to be honest with you. If you're coming to me for thoughts on another diva buff, I'm going to be real with you. I play a lot of diva. You said that's cap? It's not. It's literally in their blog post. that Reinhardt's like their highest win rate in a lot of ranks. Like that's literally said by them. But yeah, anyway. Diva, though. Yeah, I play a lot of Diva. So if you're going to ask me what I think about the Diva buff, I'm going to always be like, yeah, let's go! Diva got buffed! Anyway, there's your patch. Good mid-season patch, in my opinion. I'm happy with the changes. Obviously, they can continue on more of that with the Season 8 patch when we get the new tank, which should be announced at BlizzCon soon. So happy to see that. Good patch, though. Thoughts on the Doom nerf? I think that if they fix the bug fixes, it's going to make sense a little bit more. So